So I thought today, I did think about, um, it, of course, there'll always be strengthening, toning, but definitely, but just some kind of deeper stretches too, and maybe a nice focus on the back. So sitting, and we're going to come forward. So you're sitting cross-legged, coming forward, lowering your head. If you have a block, sometimes it's very nice to rest your head on a block, your forehead. And just take a moment, direct your breathing into your back. Remember that idea of communication. So it's like, your body is communicating with you. It's always telling you something. And tuning in. Okay. We're going to come up and notice how your legs are crossed, which leg is in front of the other. Make a mental note of it. And then stretch out your legs and point, flex, point, flex. Sweep the arms up, interlace fingers, press palms up, stretch through your back, and then reverse the leg crossing. So when you reverse the crossing, that's it. You'll come forward, and once again, maybe you're resting your forehead on a block, maybe not. Stretch into your back. Of course, inner thighs are stretching, outer hip stretching, and probably your low back also stretching. And then coming up and stretching out the legs. Good work, good work. So let's come to tabletop. Roll the shoulders back, fingertips pointing in. Some people bring the fingertips outward. And press feet into the mat. Lift your pelvis, tilt your head back, stretch the front of your body, and breathe. And then release. Now, soles of the feet are together, and you're coming forward, stretching your back, lowering your head. And then coming up, and we have half spinal twist. So right leg over the other. If you need to modify, your left leg would be straightened. Left arm is up into the air. Lengthen, reach up, and twist. Left elbow, cross right knee. Lengthen the spine, look back, and breathe. And then from here, come out, and you're going to grab hold of your right foot. So it's heron. So if you need to use your strap, you may. A lot of times I work with the legs straightened, and today I'm working with my left knee bent. So you determine how you'd like to be. If you're leaning way back, see if you can extend your spine, and look at your foot. Using a strap is fine, and you are pushing out through your right big toe. And then left hand holding strap or holding foot, and the right arm reaches back. So sometimes I like to press into the mat so I could really twist and then extend the arm. And those are your open wings. It's also a stretch of the imagination. And breathe. Inhale. Exhale. And then right hand to the inside, right foot, and then release. Good work. We'll take it all the other direction. So it starts off with half spinal twist, left leg over the other, try to get both sitting bones down. Right arm up into the air, reach up high, and then elbow, hand or elbow cross knee, and twist and look back. Pressing left foot into the mat. Mm-hmm. Breathing in. Exhale. And deep breath in. And exhale. When we come out, and using your strap if you need to, you're going to extend your left leg. And it's okay, like you could see me kind of readjusting the right foot for balance. It's much easier if you extend your right leg to the floor. And here you are looking at your left foot, trying to extend your back and breathe. And then right hand holding the straps or the outer edge of the foot, and you twist, left hand can press into the mat. As you turn, look back, and then spread your wings, take flight, and breathe. When you look back, you're looking at your thumb, at your left thumb. And then release, taking your left wrist over right wrist. Good, and dropping down. Okay, so let's come on to our backs, and we'll do a few more movements on our backs. And let me see. Have your 2 blocks handy, okay? Have your strap handy, okay? Come onto your back and pull knees into chest, stretching your lower back. Take your right knee to chest. This is a fairly simple movement. So, and if it's really easy for you, think about trying to get your thigh against your rib cage or against your abdominals. Good. And then the other side, hugging left knee to chest and squeezing in, breathing. Exhale. Using your arms, using your biceps for the pulling action. Okay. And the other side. So we're going to grab hold of the right foot, half lotus. And take a moment here to bend at the elbows. And also to lift. When you lift, you engage your core. You're lifting, trying to bring your head towards your foot towards head. The more open you are, the more you're coming forward, but also like an arc, because your foot comes ideally like above your head, moving in that direction. And then extending the leg, and this is where the strap might come in handy for the hamstring stretch. Some are holding behind the knee, some using a strap, some have hand to foot, and stretching deeply into your hamstrings, calves, and breathe. For the stretch, for the twist rather, you're going to have both knees bent, both knees go to the left, and you'll extend your right arm and then straighten your legs. So it might be that that's it, you straighten, maybe they're way down, straighten, maybe you can bring them up, and maybe some use a strap to loop the feet and grab hold, or I have left hand holding the 2 big toes. So legs are straightened and to the left, and right shoulder down, head turning to the right. And just take a few rounds of breath here. So the idea is like imagine you're trying to take your right hip bone and pressing it down, back, away from your shoulder. You could even try that, like grab hold of your pelvis and gently push down. It might not be as effective as if someone else were doing that for you. Okay, you're going to bend the knees first and then come back to center, all right? Realign if you need to, and let's start second side by hugging left knee to chest, right leg extending. Lift your head, bring your head to knee. Lower your head and grab hold of the left foot so you're in half lotus. And you'll notice, if your knee is low, can it come up a little higher? Can you lift your head? Yep, and breathe. And then from here, lower your head and start to straighten your leg. So using a strap if necessary or holding on to your foot. And still, again, realigned. And just taking a moment, especially when you have a strap, you can bend your elbows so you work your biceps. When you're reaching, sometimes you're like fully extended. Sometimes you still can bend the elbows and engage your biceps. So idea, of course, is to take tension out of the shoulders. And then we have our twist. So we'll start out, knees are bent, and knees go to the right. Remember, we bend them to go in, and then we bend them to come out. And then you straighten the legs, and you grab hold of your feet. Using a strap is fine. And from there, you turn your head to the left, extend your left arm, and breathe. So you'll find that your left leg, your top leg shifts back a little more, so the feet don't necessarily match up very well in this particular twist, and breathe. There's another one where it happens, we'll probably look at that one too, where one leg draws back. And one more breath here. Inhale and exhale. Bend the knees, come back to center. Good work. And then from here, we'll come to bridge pose. So feet are flat onto the mat. You'll lift up, and this is great for posture. You're undoing what gravity wants to do. Gravity wants shoulders to stoop, wants your back to stoop forward, and this helps to correct. So tuck shoulders underneath you, lift your pelvis, stretch across the front of your body, and breathe. Make sure that you're working your feet evenly. They're both pressing down. Even the less dominant side of your body is working hard. So this pose makes you feel like sometimes, if this is hard for you, it makes you feel sort of like you're earthbound. And I would like you, yes, we're earthbound. Your feet are earthbound, but you're also kind of skybound. So imagine that, you just took flight in the previous pose. So, see if you can, or earlier in Heron, you took flight. So now it's kind of be a little less earthbound as you lift up in your bridge. And then we'll come out. And of course, happy baby awaits you. Reach for your outside feet. Arms are on the inside knee. And see that the sole of the foot is looking up at the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. See if the inhalation can expand your lower back. Nice. And then take the legs up in the air, shake them out. It's always fun. Shake out your hands, shake out all the tension out of your legs. shake it till you like feel like your feet are just as wobbly as your hands are, just for this part, right? And then release and come on up to sitting. So what I'd like to do is rock and roll going back and forth, and it includes some plow, but we'll just kind of see how it works for you. All right. So the first thing we're going to do, we have to work the hamstrings. So your legs are straightened, and we've got lots of different light in here. You're coming forward. So I want you to like measure it out. Have your hands down on the mat. How did I get? I'm just looking at all the ink on my hands, trying to figure out how that happened. So walking forward, and reaching your head down. Is that my pockets? No. And I want you to mark it. So maybe like your hands are alongside your knees, maybe alongside your ankles, maybe past your feet. Just kind of mark where they're at. And then lengthen your spine. And we're going to do the foot pounding. Okay, you haven't done this in a while. So you're start out in inbound angle. Soles of the feet are touching. You're holding your ankles. So when I don't, maybe I relax too much and I'm going to get my back really upright. Then I make fists. My back will round a little bit. As I start, I'm going to separate my feet and start pounding. And you want to make a sound. If you can hear my sound, you're going to blot it out with your sound. And you're pounding your inside heel, which in reflexology corresponds to your sacrum. And then pound your inside instep. Inside foot, and then pounding, that doesn't feel so good, the ball of the foot, and then the little toe. Okay, then go back and forth. Maybe you're going to linger a little more in the instep, and then take your thumb and rub it along this edge of your foot. So, and you could rub along the edge of the foot, but also press, release, press, release, press, release. Press, release, press, release. So I'm just working the inner edge of the foot. We're going to start again at the heel, press, release. The heel is sometimes very kind of thick, so that, that's your sacrum, corresponds to your sacrum. Go to the tender instep, that would be your low back. Just be brave, press, release. And then go to the ball of the foot and press, release, press, release, press, release, and then go to the big toe, the inside of the big toe. That's your neck. When did you get calluses on your neck? Okay. Alrighty. So let's see if there's any difference. Let's just check it out. So there you go. Then extend your arms and come forward, reach your hands to the mat. Now, you might say, wow, there's no difference at all. And maybe it's more a feeling, okay? So I don't know. I definitely go further and I feel like this deeper release. And it's like instant, right? So breathing in, exhale, and then come up and sweep the arms up. So we're going to come back. Some of us are going to plow. If you can't go to plow, maybe you're going to be lying on your back, inbound angle, or stretching your legs. Okay, we'll move back and forth. So moving back to plow, what I'm going to suggest is one leg up in the air, one leg reaching the floor. So your hands are supporting your back. And then switch it. One leg up in the air and the other leg reaching up overhead. And then bend the knees, roll out, come up to sitting, and the soles of the feet together. Lower your head. Come on up. Come back again. Plow. Feet reaching up overhead as best you can. Don't look at the screen. Come back to sitting, and this time take your legs wide and stretch forward. Elbows pressing down. Maybe hands are pressing down. Maybe that's as far as you go. Breathing in. Exhale. Coming up. From here, side bend. Coming over to one side. We're done with the rock and roll, and we'll just do two of them. So you're coming over, side bending, and it might be that you're way up high, maybe you're able to come forward, but you know, think about this, like your nose is pointing forward. You're not looking down, okay? Breathing in. Exhale. Come up and take it the other direction. Reach up with your right arm. Take a breath in. Exhale over. So it's fine. If you're a little more upright, that's fine. Or maybe you're able to come over more. Reaching and breathe. And reaching up. Okay. And then taking your legs together, shake them out. Good work. We're coming to child's pose. So once to child's pose, you may want your knee padding. And let me see. I always like to know. Yeah, good. First half of your class, and noticing little changes within. Sometimes the changes are big. And sometimes they're small. Sometimes the changes apply to your body, like, oh, that's like on the forefront, right? That's the forefront when I'm like, wow, not as tight right now. But maybe the change is more in your mood and your energy and your mind. If you came to the session with a headache, the headache easing away, if not gone, right? Round into your back and come to upward facing dog. And you could have your feet wide or feet closer together, knees up, feet flat, or toes curled under. And then back, downward facing dog. So when you come to downward facing dog, I have like light on me, you can pedal. Bend one knee, press opposite heel down. Back and forth. Press on back, press on back. Hands spread onto the mat. Good. Let's take the right leg up, look at your right hand, and place your right foot to the outside right hand. Drop down, and you have lizard. Breathing in. Exhale. If you want, you can take your knee down or keep your back knee up. We'll take right hand to the right knee, twist, take your right arm up. And there's some space between right foot and left arm. Just reach your arm back and breathe. Release, and we'll do second side. We're going to come back. Downward facing dog. Right leg comes up. Look at your left hand and swing your left foot to the outside left hand. And drop on down and breathe. Left hand on left knee. Twist left. Take the arm up into the air, maybe even reaching it back. And lower. And back to downward facing dog. And stretch it out, maybe pedaling. So I'd like to add pigeon at this point. And if pigeon doesn't work for you, then you'll probably be coming onto your back, threading the needle. Take your right leg up into the air. Right knee comes forward. And you'll lift, look upward. It's already right there as hip flexor work. And maybe you'll bend your back knee. And when you bend your knee, You could, when you flex, that's more intense. Point, it's another place to go. And then let's release the back leg and maybe dropping onto elbows and dropping your head down and breathe. Look for breathing that is full, that is expansive. Clear the mind and kind of communicate wordlessly with your body. You can just see what your body is telling you right now. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. I'm going to press up again. And we'll come back to downward facing dog, pressing on back and stretching. So we have left leg comes up into the air. You're going to lift the leg up high and bring your left knee forward. So as you're here, take a moment to stretch, lift up. Stretching into your right hip. And then lower, it's when you lower that you start getting into the outer left hip on this side, and breathe. One more breath here. Inhale and exhale, and we'll press on up and press on back. And take a moment here as you extend and breathe. Good. Let's have the feet wide, and you can walk your hands back to your feet. Your feet are wide, so it makes for a little easier forward bend. And your knees are soft, hands to the elbows, and let yourself hang. Yeah, and your back should feel happy, I hope. I'm going to turn that heat off. Just slowly start to come up. I'll be right back. Heat off. And when you come up, take your arms up into the air, sweeping your arms up, and I'll adjust. Yeah. And then hands to heart center. Yeah. Good. All righty. I will adjust this. So how about, we'll look at some little variations on Warrior 1. So you're at the front end of your mat, and your right foot comes up, and it's like you find a little balance here. And we'll shift back heel down, double track, 90-degree bend at your left knee, and then reach the arms up. So you're looking either straight ahead of you or looking upward. You can also go wider, like a V, with your arms. And then you'll shift back. So your arms are alongside your sides, and you lower, so you're going to weight bearing through your left hip. And then press up. We're going to come forward to Warrior 3. So you're shifting forward. Your arms are alongside your pelvis. You could point or flex the leg up in the air. You can really reach through your back leg, through your arms. And then lower. Come through center. That's a lot on the leg, I know. And once here, just feet are squared. I'm like at an angle. And then bring your hands along the outside leg, reaching for your ankles. Now, some of you do reach the floor, some don't. Maybe it's helpful to rest your head on a block. Maybe you're like, what? I need 6 blocks. Okay, you could also take your feet a little wider, and that will bring you, down. You can work with a combination of 2 blocks. So see what works for you. Maybe no blocks, and your head doesn't come down. And then hands on your low back, and let's step forward to the front end of the mat. Standing in mountain, the hands are at your sides. Extend your back. Breathe in. Exhale. So second side, your left leg comes up, and just a little balance here. And then we'll step back, and first the heel is up, so I can really work at squaring the pelvis, and then the heel comes down. And trying to get that 90-degree bend, more or less. Arms sweep up, extend, breathe. Go wide as a V. And then shift your arms back. So you're going to come forward and really bear a little more weight on your pelvis. And come up. And really engage with the leg. You're going to come forward to warrior 3. So maybe when you come over, you're a little more upright. And then coming into the pose. Your arms are alongside your torso. You could point through the back foot or flex. Usually in this one, it's called an arabesque. You can point the toes, arch your back a little more. And then release. Come out. You're going to come to the forward fold. I'll just face the camera. Forward fold again. Your back might be to me, that's fine. And then from here, hands sliding down the outside leg. Now the feeling might be the same, or maybe you're able to go a little deeper in your forward fold. And breathe. And then hands, let's bring the hands down, and then walk to one side. Walk over to your right. Bring your head towards your right knee. Extend, walk across the other way. Bring your head towards your left knee. Come back to the first side. Left hand on right foot and right hand on your low back. Twist and look back. And maybe even bringing your right arm up. And breathe. And the other side, walk across. Right hand to left foot, left hand on your low back, twist, and left arm up. One more here. So now, this time you're going to shift your right foot. So you really turned and you're in a low lunge, and it's going to be prayer balance. So either your left knee is down or left knee up. Left hand up and across the right knee. So it's prayer balance, knee up or down, and breathe. And come back to center, going across the other way. And now left foot is facing the front of your mat, coming upright, right arm comes up. Do the same variety of twist you did on the first side. Right elbow across, left knee, twist, and palms together. And breathe. and release, and come back to center. Sweeping the arms up, and hands to heart center. Good work. And then stepping to the front of the mat, and just pausing for a moment. Hands are to heart center. Breathing in. Exhale. So we've done some of the strengthening poses from our standing, did a few twists, and balance is next, yay. Okay, you got to do balance, right? So first is a nice balance practice. So, it's the one where your foot glides. It's not so easy to glide across your mat, but it's gliding. And I'm trying not to move my upper body too much. And then my foot actually floats across. And then I go a little wilder, like a hoop, and another hoop. And I'll show this. And then next time you hoop, come forward, hands are to heart center. And the same leg comes to tree. Right foot, I'll turn this way. Right foot comes up. Hand to heart. Extending, shoulders are down, and then, more typical, more classical, the hands do stay together, but we tend to go wide because it reminds us of branches of a tree. Keep breathing. And release. And then we'll do second side. So left foot sweeps the floor. Good. And then floats above the floor. And then whoops out. I don't know, is that a word? Up. And then coming over to warrior three, hands could be to your heart center, and looking down. And come up, we didn't stay too long, and then we went to tree. So left foot coming up, that's the balance extravaganza. And extending, and perhaps arms in a V, and breathe. Nice. And then finally releasing and coming out. Good work. Let's go ahead and we'll look at, we're going to look at dancer's pose. And I'm going to suggest a strap. Yeah. And what I also think about in dancer's pose is this could be done with less of an arch in your back. So, in other words, if you have a strap, you can really work on more like quad stretch and you're more upright. Some will add more of an arch, but again, you just can follow where your body can go. Now let's say balance is just not your forte. Okay, go in here, yeah, you can still see me. You could always hang on and just, use the one hand is on the strap and one hand holding the wall, okay? So let's try that. So many ways to do this. One is that both hands reach the strap. Elbows are bent and pointing upward. And maybe you're kicking your leg back and tilting your upper body forward. King dancer pose. Breathe in. Exhale. What you're supposed to do is walk one hand over the other. Get closer to your foot. release. Before doing other side, let's come to a squat. So you might modify your squat or come all the way down into your squat, stretching your low back. Deep breath in and exhale. And then coming up, and we have a second side. So once again, be at a wall, it's fine. You be a little more upright, that works. Hanging onto the back of a chair, or in the middle. And what I do think about is I have like a short leash on this strap that helps me. It gives me more control. My elbow's tucked into my side, my elbow comes forward, my elbow comes up. And then find your drishti point, a point in front of you. Your hand's holding strap, and when you go further, one hand goes beyond the other, closer to the foot. You could be upright or bringing yourself forward. I kick the leg back and breathe. The last balance, I promise you, for today. Breathe in, exhale, and release. Good. And let's come to our squat. So feet a little wide, modify, or come all the way down and stretch your back. So we'll come up first, and then we'll come to lying on our bellies. And what I would say, you don't have to do this, but if you have a blanket, it might add for more comfort. Okay? So we'll do these. There's a few of these. Okay. We're going to start out on belly. My elbows should be off the blanket, right? Because the elbows have to have a little, that sticky mat that perches, right? And so feet are down, elbows pressing down, hands pressing down, and you're stretching your back. Some of you can straighten. Some will say, no, this is plenty right here. Take another breath here. Inhale. Exhale. You're going to lower. Bring your forehead down. Feet closer in together. Right leg comes up into the air. So just hold the leg up for a little bit. So that's glute strengthening and lower back strengthening. Point your toes. And then lift, take the leg across, right leg across to the left, rolling onto the left hip. That becomes more of it's a nice rotator movement. A twist. Come back through center, hold the leg up, and then lower it. Lift up the other leg, left leg, and breathe. So holding. Now, of course, your glute of the lifted leg is working, but also the leg that's on the floor helps. And then take your leg across, rolling onto the outside right hip, outside right foot. Back to center, and then lower. Grab hold of one foot, draw the heel in towards buttock, and stretch your quad. If this is really hard, you have to come onto your side. That's the best way to do it, and using a strap. Okay, do the other side, grabbing hold of the other foot, draw heel towards buttock. For the next one, I would say you could go into Sphinx. You could come onto your back and go into bridge again. or trying your bow. Now, let's say that you want to do bow, but you can't. You could do half bow. Right hand, right foot, left hand helping to push you up. Okay? Or you're reaching, we'll do it twice. So if you're doing half, some will do full bow, we'll do that twice, and then you'll switch sides second time around. Inhale, lift, and really try to kick your strong legs back, breathing in. Exhale, and lower. Once you lower, rest it out. Rest your forehead down. If you're in bridge, you could come out of bridge, rest it out. Deep breath in and exhale. And we do that again. Some are doing side two, if you're doing half, and some are reaching. And coming into your pose again, kicking back, breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Lower. Bring your forehead down and relax your back. So we use the hands, we'll press up, especially those who are on your belly, press back to child's pose. Take a moment to rest your head down. We have time here to sit in Virasana. So I have a block. I always say that because you can't see me sitting on the block once I'm on it. Okay, so I am sitting on a block. And if sitting like this really doesn't work, 1 or 2 blocks, you might say, I'm just going to sit cross-legged. Okay, see what works for you. Interlace fingers, press palms up, and shoulders like to hike up. Draw the shoulders down, extend your arms. And then side bend, reach up and over. Keep your sitting bone down on the block as you go into another side bend. And breathe. And then other side, right hand down, left arm up. Inhale and come over. Side bend. Good, and then releasing, and we're coming right onto our backs. So a nice back release pose, and it's nice if you have your blanket opened up, hands are right onto the knees, and you go wide. I mean, we do some poses that are pretty intense, I think, and so you're just taking your knees wide and bringing knees together, circling, Apanasana. Next time your knees are together, reverse the circles. Nice. And then from here, extending your legs one by one. And legs could be wide if you like. And in fact, today, I'm just going to say make a star. Be a star. So I'll do it standing. You're on your backs. You could look at the screen for a moment. Da, da, da. You're standing like you're lying on your backs like a star. Your feet are wider than the mat. And your legs are so relaxed, your heels roll out. And your arms are out like a big V. Your palms, of course, are facing up. That's what I like about that. Everyone goes into it, the palms facing up. And you have communicated with your body, with your heart, with your spirit, with your mind. And now is time to experience quiet, inner quiet. Take time to be present, to follow your breathing. Completely relax your legs, your ankles, your knee joints, your thighs, and your hip joints. Completely relaxing your arms, your shoulders, your hands, your neck. Relax the whole central line of your spine, the whole central line of your body. Make sure your back is comfortable. Relax your face. And scan your entire body. Just feel as if there's a river rushing through. It's like meridians are released, energy flows. Begin to just ever so slowly deepen your breath. Move your hands, move your feet. And begin to roll to one side. Make your way to sitting.